Howdy folks, Grey 4x4 coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer. And it's beer 30. Let's go. So today's beer of choice for this episode is by Rogue Brewing. I've done a few of their beers before. I've done beer 30s with a few of their beers. I've never tested this one. This is their Dead Guy Ale. I think this is one of their better known ones, one of their more mass produced ones. I see it in a lot of different places, but I've never actually done a beer 30 with this. So let's give her a try here. Ooh, that's got some... That's got a very unique blend of flavors going on in it. There's what it looks like. There's a different kind of hops that they're using in there, because that's delicious. It's hoppy. It's got some hoppiness to it, but it's not that the hoppiness that I usually refer to, like you're drinking a Christmas tree. You know, that pine tree, you know, scent and taste and everything. This is something different. This has got more of a a citrusy type hop to it or something. I don't know. It's pretty good. Yeah, I definitely would drink a couple of those. No problem at all. So, for those of you that may be watching my first, this is your first beer 30 that you're watching. I do these on occasion where I just feel like shooting the shit with you guys and having a beer and talking about whatever craft beer it is that I'm testing that day. And then I usually just pick whatever topic's on my mind at the time. So today's topic is going to be sports. And I know that I don't talk a lot about sports on my channel, but it's one of the three pillars when I started this channel that I said I would cover: gaming, microbrew beer, and sports. So we're accomplishing 2 of the 3 right now, and we may even actually be 3 out of 3. It depends on what you think of fantasy football. If you consider that gaming, then we're going to cover all 3. So, in the interest of the sports topic, I want to start off by talking about the fight that happened a couple of weeks ago between Ronda Rousey and Holly Holm. Now, I have been a fan of Ronda Rousey while she's been on the scene. I thought she was a dominant champion. But leading up to the fight, I was watching video of Holly Holm in her previous fights, and she was literally kicking the shit out of people. Okay? Her kicks, I mean, she was doing, in some of those other fights, she was doing leg kicks. She was knocking other women out with leg kicks and body kicks. I mean, to where they were just quitting and tapping out. That's how powerful her kicks are. And when I was watching, and her footwork, her speed and her footwork and everything else, and the fact she's a boxing champion, I said to myself, Ronda better watch out. This one could be trouble. And I was right. Now, had I followed my instinct, I would have actually driven to Las Vegas. I would have driven the 4-hour drive to Las Vegas, and I would have put some money. I probably, in my mind, I was thinking, if I do it, I'll go and I'll put $500 on Holly Holm. And man, do I wish I had done it. Because I don't even want to talk, the odds were, I forget what the odds were in Ronda's favor, but yeah, I think I figured it out. I think a $500 bet. I think I figured out it was paying like, I want to say it was 6,000. I would have made $6,000, I think, if I would have put 500 down. I don't remember the odds, but right after it happened, I think I looked, and I think it was $6,000. But anyway, so I wish I had followed my gut. Sometimes you really should do that. So when you don't, you have to say, well, would have, could have, should have, maybe, you know, that type of thing, and then you drink beer. But having said all that, Holly Holm is an amazing fighter. She showed all of her skills on display for everybody to see during that fight. Nobody was questioning it, saying, you know, I mean, she made Ronda look horrible, and in more ways than one. Physically horrible, and then, you know, in the ring, just how pointing out how amateurish Ronda looked versus her. So there's that. I wanted to talk about that a little bit. I don't know if any of you are MMA fans. I think maybe some of you are. The other thing I wanted to talk about was fantasy football. I usually talk a little bit about it every season. Last year, I won my league. Finally, after I don't know how many years, 12, 15 years, however long fantasy football has been around, I finally won. I was the champion of my league. And I'm in first place in the league I'm in currently. So I'd love to go back to back. That would be awesome. And that brings up a good topic. Is fantasy football or fantasy sports at all, do you consider that gaming? Because you are essentially, you know, picking a roster, and you are hoping that they do well in order to win a contest. So in my mind, it's gaming. It's just like if you were playing, let's say, John Madden football, and you put together a team on John Madden football, and you were playing against the computer, or in this instance, you're playing against other people. But it's still, to me, it's still gaming. So I'd be interested to know your thoughts on that. And then if you are playing, how is your team going? The interesting thing about fantasy football is dealing with injuries. That and much like I'm sure that the real life coaches have to deal with injuries. I fixed my sleeve there. It's all goobered up. And I just noticed from doing this video, this is from my loot crate. This is my Kylo Ren Star Wars The Force Awakens shirt. But I just realized, I didn't even see it before, this has Pop, from the same people who make Pop vinyl figures, Pop tees, it says on it. So I'm actually advertising. I didn't know I was advertising for the bastards. They should have put a $5 bill in the loot crate too for the free advertising. Anyway, so yeah, and I think some people are shocked when they see that I do sports-related stuff on my channel or whatever, because the media and pop culture has portrayed gamers as it's impossible for gamers to also like sports. If you watch, you know, anything in pop culture or whatever, they always portray us as, well, if you're a gamer, if you like Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and you play D&D, there is no possible way that you can like football, baseball, MMA, whatever. And that's simply not true. As you can see, Star Wars, sports. See media? See pop culture? It is possible. We can like both. At least some of us do. Anyway, so I hope that this is Thanksgiving weekend. I hope that that you're having a refreshing beverage as well, and I hope that you're playing some awesome games. I'll be playing D&D back there tonight. Been playing the crap out of Fallout 4, as you guys know. You probably saw my review. So, cheers. Have a beer and play some games. We'll catch you on the flip side.